Hey y'all. Oh, this window sound. It's Lavette. I'm back. Let me give you guys another video. Today, I'm gonna roll home with you guys and explain medication. So I started taking medication for depression, and actually started out as depression. I want to say 2001, somewhere in there, 2001. I started taking meds. I had a tough time. I say that was my nervous breakdown. So being that I have the addictive gene in my family, I was afraid to do medication. My dad, who I joke and say has been in every rehab in California, told me when I was 23 that in rehab, the counselor said, you know, kids of addicts will also be addicts. And he thought it was going to be me. Out of all 7 of his kids, me. He thought it was going to be me. My feelings was hurt. Like, what the hell? For real? I'm over it now. Took me a while to understand. He wasn't, I don't know if he was or not, but I don't feel that he was trying to be mean about it. Maybe he was just being real. And it could be because he saw in me the my issues. You know, you pay attention to your kids, you'll be able to see, you know, you can tell which ones are gonna struggle, which ones are gonna just fly by. You know your kids, so you should know. But it hurt my feelings. So, being the rebellious person that I am, you tell me I'ma be this, or you know, you ain't gonna do this or you ain't gonna do that, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna try and prove you wrong. So I told my doctor at the time that that was something that I was afraid of. I didn't want anything that was addictive, but I was okay to do medication. So my doctor at the time, actually I was on a couple different medications before I landed on Zoloft. I was on Wellbutrin for like 4 days. I did not else, and I can't remember what it was, but obviously it didn't work. So I ended up on Zoloft, which basically excuse me, it it evens out your serotonin levels, which is a chemical that your body already produces. So normally if you're depressed, you may be lacking in serotonin. So if you guys notice, a lot of times during the winter months, holidays, things like that, there's a lot of depressed, sad people. Suicide rates tend to go up. And for a long time I was like, Christmas make people want to kill themselves? What's wrong with these people? Like, I kind of thought it was more about the spending of the money and the people wanting this and wanting that, knowing that you can't afford it and that type of thing. And I found that that's not the case at all. So I am one of those people that tends to struggle more once daylight savings is gone. I'm usually in the house by 7. If I needed something from the store or anything like that and I didn't get it before then, I'm not getting it. Or if it's absolutely necessary, it's going to take a serious fight to, push myself to get out and do that. Now, the crazy part about it is, I tend not to stay out late, but I can do the nighttime. But during that time of the year, it just gets worse. So, of course, sunlight helps produce serotonin. So with less sunlight, there's more sad people. So basically what my medications do is it balances out my serotonin, which allows me to cope just a little bit better. I can tell the difference. Say in the beginning, I would forget to take it. And I would notice that it's a little harder to deal. Or I was very short-tempered or irritated easily by little stuff. And then I'll notice, oh, I ain't took my medication in 4 days. Which I found 4 days is the magic number of when I start to know the difference. So I started on Zoloft, and it's funny because my kid's father at the time, he didn't know nothing about it. We had just started talking or whatever, and there was a commercial. They had a commercial for Zoloft, and it was a little round circle that was sad, that would walk across the screen, and they'd promote and that just tickled him pink. Walking around here like the little circle man on TV, just tickled him pink. So I was on Zoloft for approximately 15 years. I was on Zoloft when I had my son at 29 because my doctor wasn't sure what the effects would be on the baby It was suggested that I don't breastfeed him, so I didn't. But they were saying, oh, it's kind of a type C drug, almost like Tylenol, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, it helped. But the thing is, I was on the highest dose for majority of that time. So, as time goes on, your body tends to get used to it, and, your body changes as you get older. And it's not working. It's not useful anymore. So I actually stopped taking it for a couple months at one point, because I thought, oh, I'm feeling better, I'm doing better, I'm happier, okay, I don't need it anymore. Yeah, I found that was not true. The whole time I thought, once I get better, I can stop taking it. I don't have to take any more, drugs, have them in my system, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, nah. So I finally came to terms with, this is my life. I will be taking some form of medication for the rest of my life to ensure that I'm able to maintain my happiness. So I want to say when I had my daughter, I wasn't on it. So I was like 35, 36 when I had my daughter. And I was kind of excited that I was going to be able to breastfeed her. That didn't last for long. Not because of the medication, but yeah, I couldn't. We didn't work well together and with that. So I got back on Zoloft. I took it for a while. A few years back, I started going through some serious breakdowns, like crying fits, and it was bad. And my primary care doctor said, well, have you noticed that that happens, because it was like once a month. It happens around the time that your cycle's supposed to come on. So come to find out, I was having some serious PMS. So the option was to try a new medication called Celexa, which is very similar to Zoloft. I think it's just a bit stronger. But what the suggestion was to start taking it a week before my cycle. And then I think a week before, and then the week of, and then stop. I wasn't going to be able to keep up with that. Like, nah. I could barely keep up with, 28 days and the count, all that. No. So we decided to actually just go ahead and take the Celexa ongoing, which works for me. I take it once a night. At the time, I was only taking one pill, and now I take 1.5. Generally, just like with my Zoloft, I think 2 whole pills is like the maximum. So I've actually been pretty good with just taking the 1.5, and I've been doing that for some time now, and it helps. I try not to miss any days. If I do, it'll be like, oh, I fell asleep or something. So it's not like I will miss 4 days. So I don't know. So I don't have to deal with the effects of it not being in my system. It does help, but I still have episodes where my anxiety gets real high, and I like the other day, my last video, when I was having an anxiety attack on my way home. And so for those instances where I feel like, oh my God, I'm having an anxiety attack, I have Ativan, which I spoke about in one of the other videos, which is like a Valium. It basically calms me down. And normally I take it, and then I'm at home and I can lay down and not really trip on what the side effects are. So the other day I took it the next morning, because I had some anxiety about having another anxiety attack. So I said, let me go ahead and take the pill and drink some tea rather than coffee, some herbal tea, and make it through the day. So that was a bad thing. Your girl was tired. I took a 15-minute nap on my 15-minute break. I took an hour nap at my hour lunch. Couldn't wait till I got home. When I got home, I ended up going to bed for the night. So not only was I tired, I do get tired when I do have anxiety attacks. They drain me, and I do tend to sleep a lot. One thing I do know is I've actually done really well. I used to sleep a lot. It's like, all you want to do is sleep. You never go nowhere. You never do anything. It's like weekends, I'm asleep all day, every day, and then back up to work. And a lot of that was the depression, not having the energy to do anything, or to, the desire to do anything. So I had to work on the pleasurable activities,